Hello everyone, welcome to India Defense Institute Daily Current Affairs. So let's see some of the important current affairs of today. First one is National Mission on Cultural Mapping (NMCM). So the National Mission on Cultural Mapping, it has been given to Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. Yes, it is an organization, and they are really, gearing up, getting ready for trial run in 75 villages in October 2020. So it is in the name, National Mission for Cultural Mapping. So the main aim is to map the cultural things, cultural elements of diversified cultural elements in different areas, in different villages. So this map will contain all the cultural significant elements, dance, theater, arts and architecture, everything related to India in each and every village. So if any person wants to know in India, in which part of the area the specific cultural thing is happening or it belongs to which part, they can refer to this map. So to map this only, this mission has been started. So the Culture Ministry has approved this mission in 2017 itself, but the project didn't take off. Yes. And they are working with the cultural mapping mission to build a comprehensive database of artists, art forms, and other resources from organization and the ministry. Yes. So what is a simple in a nutshell? It is to build a comprehensive database of artists and art forms. Yes. Nearly 14.5 lakh artisans have been registered. Yes, and no benefits or transfer assistance has been given to them, and they are trying to work on creating a database of folk arts and mapping a heritage of villages. It will be carried out in the next 5 years. Yes, it is a cultural element mapping. Yes, so the volunteers from Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, National NSS, National Service Scheme, and the sociology and other social philanthropic students, they will be collecting data from the villages. Yes, already some budget of 89 crore has been sanctioned, and the mapping will be done in 5,000 villages by the end of 2022. So it will give boost to both the ancient historical element of India, and also it will give boost to the tourism, pilgrimage and other spiritual tourism of India. Next is cyclone Gulab. So Odisha government has given a warning for the cyclone storm Gulab, and it is expected to cross the coast in the southern and northern Andhra. Okay, and the wind speed it may gain up to 75 to 85 km per hour. So you can see the route of the cyclone. Yes, from here on the North Bay of Bengal, it somewhat crosses near this North Andhra and southern Odisha. So the IMD Meteorological Department, they say that inform the National Crisis Management Committee that it will hit the northern Andhra states like Srikakulam, Visayanagaram, Visakhapatnam, and Ganjam and Gajapati district, which is the southern Odisha. Yes, and it is moving westward with the speed of 7 km in the last 7 hours. Yes, and as of now it is raining and it is expected to cross this region. So next is shortage of doctors and paramedical workers. So the Vice President Venkaiah Naidu said that we have to address this problem of shortage of trained persons, doctors and other paramedical workers like nurses, lab technicians and all, and on war footing, means immediate attention has to be given. He said that the India has low doctor to population ratio 1:1511 rather than the World Health Organization of 1:1000, which means for every 1,000 person, one doctor should be there. But in India, for every 1,511 person, one doctor is there. Nearly 500 people they are in excess. And they say that how it can be done simple: create more medical college and set up one medical college and hospital in every district of the country. Yes. And this has been implemented in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, almost 80 to 90% of the districts has one or other medical colleges. And referring to the paucity or the gap in the paramedical staff, they said that even the nurses ratio is very low. See, 1:670 compared to 1:300. Yes. And he referred that the 15th Finance Commission recommended that the state should increase spending on health to more than 8% of their budgets. Yes, and the combined public health expenditure of center and state should reach 2.5% of the GDP. Yes, so state overall in their 100% of the budget, 8% they should spend for health. So it has been recommended the Finance Commission, and Venkaiah Naidu stressed the states to follow it. Yes, and also he said that the same Finance Commission said that nearly 30,000 crores will be allocated to train the allied health workers. Yes, and simple, improve the HR, human resource, in both the doctors as well as medical as well as paramedical workers across the country. The next is Saubhagya. So Saubhagya, this scheme has completed 4 years of successful implementation. So what is Saubhagya? It is otherwise called Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana. It's simple, universal household rural electrification. Household electrification. Yes. So it is one of the largest household electrification drives in the world. Yes. So it was announced by PM on 25th September 2017, and it is implemented by Ministry of Power. What is the objective? Yes, achieving universal household electrification means அனைவருக்கும் okay மின்சாரம். Yes. So universal household electrification in the country. We are last mile connectivity and providing access to all unelectrified households in rural areas and poor households in the urban areas. So irrespective of rural and urban, okay, this electricity has to be given to nook and corner of the country. So it all started with the implementation of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gram Jyoti Yojana. Yes. And the scheme is this scheme is to create electricity infrastructure in the villages. So on foundation of this Saubhagya Yojana, which is Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, has been built. Yes. And nearly 82 crore households have been electrified since the launch of the Saubhagya. Yes. And it is of successful implementation, and it will further continue till all the households have been given this electricity. Yes. And the next is USB Type C. So the European Commission has proposed a plan to harmonize charging ports, and harmonize means okay, getting a single standard for all the Type C and now all the electric charging ports. You can see it will force the original equipment manufacturer OEMs to adopt single use of technology. So this is Type C. As of now, 3 types of charging cables are there. One is Type C, second one is micro USB. At present we are using, and the third one is lightning conductor. So you can see this European Union has proposed this Type C. Type C means okay, in any direction you can fix, but in micro USB we can able to charge it in only one direction. But this is symmetric, in both ways you can insert, and it will be a common port, and it will hit, they say, iPhone market, iPhone Apple maker. Why? Because in Apple they use this lightning conductor. Okay, because you can see the iPhone chargers, it can only be used in iPhone and iPads, and they are going to be a hit. Yes. And they say this wireless charging is excluded. Only the wired charging Type C is mandated. For the wireless chargers, this USB-C port or the Type C port is not needed. So you can see the USB-C. It is also called as USB Type C. It is a 24-pin USB connector with rotational symmetric connector. Yes. Micro USB connector is not a rotational symmetric. It is asymmetric. Only one direction you can insert. But this USB Type C, in any direction you can insert. Next is Global Citizens Life. So the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has delivered this address at Global Citizens Life. So what is the aim? Defend the planet, defeat poverty. Yes, it is a 24-hour global event starting on this September 25. What is the aim? Unite the world to defend the planet and defeat poverty. Yes. So hailing from 6 continents, and the broadcast, it will feature all the important artists, celebrities, world leaders. Okay, and to talk about the change and climate change, poverty, all the present pressing issues across the globe. So it will feature a performance of all over the country, like Los Angeles, London, Lagos, Rio de Janeiro, Sydney, New York, important cities across the world. Yes. And this Global Citizens Life is a part of Global Citizens 2021 global campaign. Okay, a recovery plan for the world, because the last 2 years it has been full of lockdown, pandemic, forest fires, lot of climatic issues as well as pandemic issues. And this citizens campaign is a recovery plan for the world. So the recovery plan focuses on 5 objectives. What are this? Ending COVID-19, ending the hunger crisis, learning for all, protecting the planet, and advancing equity for all. Next is US India joint leaders statement. So recently, PM Modi has went to USA, and he met with this Vice President Kamala Harris, and also for the first time, okay, the President Joseph R. Biden welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi to White House. It is considered as the first in-person meeting after Joe Biden becoming the president. And they have finalized a lot of this MOUs on health, biomedical sciences, pandemic preparedness, biomedical research. Yes. Generally, whenever true leaders of a country are meeting, they will sign a lot of agreements. So this one such agreement is there. And also, Modi welcomed the Biden's initiative to conduct global COVID-19 summit, okay, on ending the pandemic and building back better world. Yes. And they also, the 2 main tracks of discussion presently is 2 main things, which is strategic clean energy partnership SCEP and climate action and financial mobilization like CAFMD. All these are related to achieving the targets in sustainable development goals and also Paris climate deal. Yes. So these two are under the US-India Climate and Clean Energy Agenda 2030 partnership. Yes. Why? What is the main aim? Accelerate clean energy development and get technologies to advance clean energy transition. Because under the Paris Climate Deal, 100 billion US dollar per year has to be earmarked. Why? To give the technology transfer to the developing countries. Because the developed countries, they become developed by emitting a lot of carbon dioxide. The developing countries and the countries in transition like China, India, they need technologies to adopt clean energy. So the developed countries have to provide them this technology. So that is what this, there's both clean energy partnership and this CIFMD, climate action and finance mobilization is all about. And so they also resolve that they must abide by the UNSC, United Nations Security Council Resolution 2593, which is adopted on September 5, 2021. In fact, India was the president of the United Nations Security Council when this is adopted. And this is on the Taliban, and it says that the main aim of this resolution is the Afghan territory must never be used or threatened or attack any country, to train terrorists. So Afghan soil would not be used to export and import terror. And they also convene this India State Policy Forum. Yes. And they reviving the High Technology Cooperation Group and finalization of Space Situational Awareness Memorandum for sharing of data and services. Yes. Lot of this cooperation agreements and groupings, and agreement signing happen. And this gives a boost to Indo-US relationship. Next is Kamala Bashin. So the famous feminist icon, poet, author, and a philanthropist Kamala Bashin, and she has died in Delhi because of bladder cancer. Yes. So this is her famous quote: "Feminism is not biological; it is an ideology." So his work started in 1970, and the main focus is on gender neutrality, education, human development, and she was best known for her work Sangat, feminist network, under poem "Kyunki main ladki hoon, mujhe patna hai." Yes, I am a woman, so what? So she resigned from her job at UN in 2002 to work with Sangat. She is a founder and member and advisor. Sangat, a feminist organization to cater for the needs. Yes. And she was also the South Asia coordinator to 1 billion rising campaign. And she is a founder of women organization Jagori. And she's focused on smashing the patriarchy. Yes. So she is a feminist icon, and she has inspired a lot of women to come out of the clutches of the patriarchy. Yes. The next is Quad. Yes. So on September 24, officially, the Quad member countries, the heads of the Quad member countries, President Biden, Scott Morrison, PM Scott Morrison of Australia, Narendra Modi of India, and PM Yoshihide Suga of Japan, all met at the White House for the first ever in-person leader summit of Quad. So the Quad became official, a formal organization. So you can see all the heads of the state. Yes. So what are the key highlights? So Quad Infrastructure Coordination Group, it has been set up for infrastructure needs across the country. Climate, yes. So 2030 targets for emissions, SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, Paris Climate Deal, to address that the climate has been given an option. And Clean Hydrogen Partnership, they will announce a Clean Hydrogen Partnership, to improve the bilateral and multilateral hydrogen initiatives, enhance climate adaptation, resilience, and preparedness. Quad Fellowship in this 100 students per year, each from 4 countries, 25 from each 4 countries will be allowed to pursue master's and doctoral degrees as STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics graduation, courses in United States. Publish a Quad statement of principle. What is the principle of Quad? It will be published soon. Establish technical standards contact group. So all this, under all these headings, the Quad country will come and they will try to cooperate with each other. So this is a start, and it is a good start, and it is of a good strategic advantage for India. And the next one is Purachi Thalaivar Dr. M.G. Ramachandran Central Railway Station. Yes, the PM, Narendra Modi has expressed the concern, and he has appreciated the Central Railway Station, which is recently named as Dr. Purachi Thalaivar M.G.R. Ramachandran Railway Station, because it recently went fully on solar energy. So as of now, the Central is fully powered by solar energy, and it does not use any coal power and conventional electricity. So this is a welcome move. And it is the busiest railway station and one of the most important hubs in country. And it has went as a fully solar, and it will encourage the other railway stations, important railway stations across India, to follow the suit. Yes, it is one of the commitment by the India to go green. Yes. So that's all about today's current affairs. Let us come up with more informative and innovative current affairs tomorrow. Thank you.